Everyone, it's Lindsay from My Crafty Plans. Welcome back to my channel, or if you are new here, welcome. Today I'm going to be taking a closer look at the Ink & Vault 2023 limited edition goals planner. I was sent this planner by Ink & Vault, so thank you so much. That was actually part of a larger PR package, which I have already shared on a haul, which I will link up in the cards and also in the description down below. So if you want to see more of what was in that order, you can check that out. But I did get a couple of notepads, a journal, different things. My favorite of which so far has been this desktop dashboard, which I have been using all of the time. I've got Plan With Me's here and on Instagram as well where I've used this. So if you have seen this around, that is from the same order, but I'm really excited today to take a look at the goals planner. So this is the 2023 limited edition goals planner. So it is a dated planner. It has monthly pages, weekly pages, as well as all of the goal setting stuff that you need to get going for the year in here. It is an A5 size planner and it is a hardbound planner. So this retails for $55 and there is a non-limited edition version that the insides look to me like they are the same. I don't have that version, but the cover is different and the cover is the same cover as like their plain notebooks. So more this style of cover, although they have a number of different colors, and that one retails for $49. The limited edition one is a little bit more. It's got the rose gold embossing on it, and this is actually available in 3 different colors. This one is the Silver Frost. There's also a green color and a blue color. They're all really, really pretty, and I believe they all have the rose gold. It also has the embossing on the spine, which I absolutely love because you could just stick this on a bookshelf and it just looks like a little book, but it says 2023. I think that's a really nice touch if you're doing a hardbound planner. I'm more of a quail person myself, but for a hardbound planner, I think that that's really, really cute. I love when things are on the spine. So as I said, this is A5 size and it's meant to be an all-in-one planner. So it's got weekly pages, monthly pages, as well as a lot of goal setting work. So we're gonna dive into some of those pages, but before I do that, I'll just share with you some of the other features on the planner. The cover is kind of a linen material, and the standard covers and the notebooks have more of like a chipboard vegan leather type feel to them. I mean, they're all chipboard on the inside, they're hard, but this one has like a linen texture to it. It actually feels really nice and it's really, really pretty. I like this color as well. It's got 2 bookmarks in it, one in like the kind of silvery gray color and one in this soft pinky mauve color. And honestly, the color of the cover is sort of perfectly in between these 2 colors. It's just a really nice touch. I think it looks like the 3 of them look very nice together. It's very color coordinated, really pretty. It does say Dare to Achieve and it's got 2023 with this little doodle on it as well. Then when you open it up, it has like a little textured paper on the inside for the binding. This is like a very thick paper and it also has kind of a paint texture to it in an off-white, and then you've got your This Planner Belongs To page, and then you jump into a year at a glance for 2023 and 2024. These books do lie fairly flat, but they definitely require just a scotch of training, but even just opening them up like this, you can see kind of how flat that lays. I think on pretty much every page, you're gonna have to just give it a little wiggle, but then it does lay nice and flat, which can be a concern with a binding there, but that was, you know, kind of a page from towards the front and a page towards the back. So again, we've got our weekly overview page, and then we get into the goal work. Before we jump into the goal work and all of the pages of the planner, just some facts that I got from the planner off the website. It does say that it is 70-pound paper, which is the same as the 28-pound or 105 GSM, so a little bit thinner than, say, the paper in the Moxie Life or the Erin Condren. It does feel really nice. We'll take a closer look at the paper in a minute, but it is just a little bit thinner than that plate paper. So and I've already tested it on the journal actually, so you do actually need to be slightly more careful about the markers that you choose than on some of those thicker planner papers, but overall is a very high quality paper. It also is the exact dimensions of A5, say 6 inches by 8.5, lay flat binding, the 2 ribbon bookmarks. It says it has 8 note pages and a pocket on the inside, and that it was made in the USA. So the pocket is there in the back. It's a very slight, like a very stiff secretarial pocket. It's in that sort of same paint textured paper, so it feels really nice. I wouldn't try and slide more than like a couple sheets of stickers in here. It's definitely not designed to hold a ton. It's not an accordion pocket or anything like that, but you can stick a sheet of paper of stickers in the back there. And I guess that this is the note pages at the back, which we'll probably use to do a quick pen test and other things as well. So again, anyways, once you get past your weekly overview, you are on to your goals pages. The first of which says bringing your year into focus on the left-hand side of the page. And then it has your 2023 theme and vision. So again, this is designed to be an all-in-one planner. It's got some goals pages for, I believe, for the monthly and the weekly as well, but we'll take a closer look. And it has planning pages as well. So there's just some questions along the side here to help kind of focus in on what you want to do, reflect on the previous year in order to create your goals for next year. How do you want to improve? What would it look like if this year went perfectly? Things like that. And then you get into your theme and vision. So it says, my theme: when I wake up every morning, what is your mantra? Declare a theme that will motivate and empower you throughout the year. So that's like a little bit like a word of a year. I like that you could do a phrase instead. It definitely gives you enough space, but if you wanted to just make that a single word for the year, that would be a great place to put your word for the year. The questions along the left-hand page here are lined with a pretty wide spacing on the lines, like plenty of space to spend plenty of space to write, and then the box here for the word is actually completely blank, and then you've got a space for a vision. What does your life look like in 3 to 5 years? And key actions and milestones, so that you could break that vision down a little bit. So there is some guidance on here, but it definitely has a little bit of a long-term theme to it. It's not dividing your life up into areas or anything like that, like like a lot of other goals planners out there. Then it has a big dot grid page here with a line. It's super faint. All of the printing in here, a lot of the printing is in like a really light gray. So this is dot grid. It says timeline, and across the center of the page it says January and December, and there's like a line running directly across the center of the page. So you could create like a little map of the year. I love this. I think this is really fun, and I'm not sure I've ever seen this in a planner before, but this is super cool. So you could put like key dates or milestones for your specific goals, or even just kind of create a map of your year. I think that could be really fun. Like you could put like key holidays or birthdays even, or stuff like that, like key events. If you had like a big vacation, you could kind of map that out and create like a mind map with a central timeline. I think that's really fun. And as a person who's like not a natural vision board mind mapper person, I think that it's really cool to have the timeline there, because it gives you a little bit of structure in order to how to frame things. So it's definitely supposed to be for your goals, but I could see this being like a really fun way to map out your year in terms of plans as well. So then after that, you get into your goals. So you have some goals pages here. Okay, so first here you have a section for big goals, and it has space for 5 major goals for the year. And then for each of those goals gets a page like this that's on the right-hand side, which we'll dive into more in just a second. And then you also have a space here for 11 other goals that just say other important things I want to accomplish. So in this goal planning system, you are supposed to create 5 main goals, and you've got a space to list out other things that you want to work on throughout the year. And then each of the main goals gets a page that looks like this, where it has a section up at the top that's nice and big to write the goal out. So you could kind of like put an abbreviated version here and then elaborate it on its individual page. And then space to actually break that goal down. So you have an action plan to break that goal down into tasks and assign dates to that tasks. And then a little section here that says analysis. The best way to overcome challenges is to prepare for them. And then it has space to write obstacles and preparation. And then a section here to write motivation. This section is aligned with the obstacles, and words of encouragement or rewards. And that is actually a little bit of of dot grid section over here, which has like just 3 rows of dots on it. So just a teensy bit of dot grid on the bottom. So that way you could draw a picture, you could do a quote, doodle, whatever you want to do, like you said, or words of encouragement, or you could give yourself a reward. I do like that as well. And then there's a little progress bar on the bottom. So you could like decide how you want to if you want to give each of these a percentage complete, because, you know, tests aren't always split ultimately evenly, or you could, you know, make them even, and then you could shade this bar in at the bottom until you complete your goal, and then it has a space to write completed on. So there is 5 of these pages, 1 for each of the goals on the side. So you have 2 here and then 2 here to get the total of 5. And then you get into your monthly planning pages. Well, let me just show you what that kind of looks like all in one there on the book. And then after those 5 goals pages, you get into the monthly planning pages. So it is a monthly calendar. It is Sunday start, and the weekends are shaded. It is a very light gray, so it's not like a ton of shading. This is a very neutral planner. An InkNVolt in general is a very neutral line, which I do like. I prefer weekends not to be shaded, and I also prefer Monday start for a calendar, but that is, you know, totally personal preference, just things that I look like. Something that I do really like is that these calendar squares are actually, they do look like they are perfect squares. We can measure them out here. I don't know why that is a thing that I like, but it just is. But yeah, so they're close to perfect squares or are perfect squares, just a little bit over like an inch and just about an inch and a half across for both of them. So I do really like that. And the text on the numbers is printed super, super small. I feel like I have to keep zooming in, and I've like turned the brightness down on my camera a little bit so that you can see, hopefully you can see that this is a planner. It's a very clean aesthetic, a very minimalist aesthetic. So if that is the look that you like, you will probably really, really like this. It looks really gorgeous in person, but it definitely doesn't show up on camera. It doesn't like pop off the page the way like a very vibrant, colorful spread was, but I much prefer a neutral planner, so I'm happy with that. And then it's got a little section up here that says focus along the sidebar, and then that is like enclosed in a box, but the space inside is completely empty. There's no lines or dots or anything. And then a little note section that is in the dot grid. So you could put like a weekly task list in there. Oh, actually, well, there's space on the next pages, but you have like a little bit of a note section. So I do a lot of color coding in my monthly calendar. So perfect place to put a key, and then you could kind of create a theme for the month. I would probably write on this going sideways just because it's not a lot of space if you have the planter oriented in the correct direction, and there's just like a little space up on the top. So if you want to decorate this, you can very much make it your own. It's a completely neutral planner. Even with the shading on the weekends, it's a light enough gray that it's not going to stop you from using markers, and it does just give a little bit of differentiation to the weekends. It also has the weeks numbered on it. I'm not sure if that's going to be numbered. Let's take a look at February. Numbered like overall. Yeah, no. So the weeks are actually numbered on here, and the numbering is continuous. So in the weeks of January start at 1 and go through 5, and then February is going to start at 6. I just looked at a later month, so I don't know. It's incredibly, incredibly faint there. I think you can see it. I'm looking at the camera viewfinder. You can see it says CW1. So I think that stands for something week 1. I'm not sure what the current week, maybe? I'm not sure what the C stands for, but something week number 1, number 2, week number 2, week number 3, etc. So that's really useful. I like that. So I'm not sure if that coordinates to something on the weekly spreads as well, but that's helpful to know what week of the year that you are in, and something I always number in my own goals planner, actually. So then after your monthly calendar, you get this dashboard page over here, or some dashboard and goal setting pages. So again, it says January goals. This month I will. So then you can break down your 5 goals, break down all those weekly action items and put them in here. This is a listed section. It's got check marks, and then there is a dot grid section at the bottom. So you have space for 12 different things to put on your checklist. So 12 different tasks related to your goals, and then also some notes section there as well. And then it says 31-day challenge. For the next 31 days, I want to make this happen because my plan of action is, and then at the bottom, it says I fully intend to commit myself to this for the next 31 days. And then it has a space to sign for it, like to sign, like you're signing a contract for yourself. And then it's got like a little space at the bottom that has the days listed out, so you could use that as a habit tracker. So I like this. I think the signing thing is a little bit cheesy, and I don't know that I would be doing that every month. but I overall like this, that you could really focus on one habit for the month. That's probably what I would use this for, is to pick a habit, something that I want to do every single day, and use the bottom page as a habit tracker. Of course, you could interpret this a different way, but that's kind of what jumps out to me about this, about the next 31-day challenge. So you could say, I want to check my planner every day for the next 31 days. It makes me more organized. My plan of action is to do this first thing in the morning when I wake up. And then, you know, sign that to yourself. And then every single day when you come to check your planner, you could just go ahead and stamp this up. And again, that would work for any habit. Then after that, we have a little section here that says, what are you most looking forward to? You just did the hard work of working through your goals and your plans for the year. What are you feeling most excited to learn, do, or discover? And then it's just got a little journaling space here, a dot grid page on this one after the section at the top to kind of journal your thoughts out. And then we are into the weekly plan. So then you have a section here that says weekly goals. It is dated. It's got the date on it. This first week runs from December 26th to January 1st, that Sunday. So this is actually kind of almost a bonus week, since January 1st is really the first day of 2023, but you can see the overall breakdown. It has a section here that says top goals and tasks, top 3, and then a section here that's not numbered with 9 other to-do lists or 9 other tasks that you can put on your list. And then a little box here that says reflect and celebrate. And there's actually some stars printed on top of that. Again, it's very neutral and gray, but you can kind of see the little stars printed on top. Super cute touch there. And you can just put that in a little reflection section, and then a thing that says review your yearly goals, your monthly goals, and your 31-day challenge. And then there's a little dot grid section at the bottom here, which you can use for whatever you want. We'll take a look through to see if the challenges change throughout the year. I haven't flipped through this all that closely in advance. I've taken a look at a couple of things, but I haven't spent a lot of time deep diving into this before filming. And then you have your weekly outlook. So it is a vertical planner, a 3-section planner. I forget what they call this. And it actually does say morning, and this says noon and night. So it's like a morning, middle of the day, and night time. So it is oriented that way. It is not an hourly planner though. It is just a vertical planner with 3 little sections in it. The weekends, again, grayed out here, Saturday, Sunday together. So it is a Monday start on the weekly, and the weekends are just split. So there are 6 Monday through Friday, and then this is Saturday and Sunday, and the weekends are split into 2, 1 for each day. No morning, evening section for the weekends. The column width is 1 3/4 inches, so it is a little bit bigger than your standard 1.5 inch, and I think a little bit smaller than the Plum Paper Priorities planner, which is like a wider base of that. I believe that the columns for that are 2 inches, but I don't have that planner, so don't quote me on that. So your stickers that you already have for any kind of vertical planner will fit in here, but they will not run the width of the column. They're gonna have some gaps on the side. Just depends on how you like to use them, but if you like to use stickers in your planner, that is just something to keep in mind. Again, this is a super neutral planner, so you can pick the color theme, you can do whatever you want with it with regards to that. The space inside the boxes, it is not lined, it is not dot grid, it is completely blank. So you just have the days of the week printed super small at the top. Then in the very light gray font, you have the morning, noon, and night printed, which is also really nice because if that's not how you structure your planner, this is very faint. So you can easily cover that up with something or even just write over it, and it's not even gonna show up even if you didn't white that out. So like for me, I sometimes do a layout that's oriented like this, but sometimes I like to split my tasks or split my plans up. So I might have like a section for work, a section for the house, and like a section for kids stuff going on. So you don't have to use the morning, noon, and night, and it's neutral enough that you could easily customize this even if you don't do like a chronological planning type order. So then the way that this is dated, it does say the dates up at the top here. It also has the days numbered on the specific days. And actually at the bottom where you would have the page numbers for the book, the numbers of the page numbers, this planner is page numbered, which is kind of handy, but it also says January on the bottom. So this page here says January and that it is page 21. Then at the end of the week, I guess you get in to the next set. So this page, I believe, is for kind of reflections, and then this is setting up for your next week. And this does look like the reflections prompt is different, but the review section is the same. So the first one said, what are you looking forward to? Which I think is a good first one because you're not coming out of just having planned a week, and it's like space to like pre-reflect almost. So do some journaling before you start the planner, whereas this one says take stock. So it's for me, this is more of like space to look backwards on the week behind, although I guess it's pretty general question, so you could be answering that overall, and it does again look like a different prompt there. So then you have your weekly goals set up. This again, the same, the review list is the same as it was in the first week, the yearly goals, monthly goals, last week's progress, and 31-day challenge. Oh, I guess this first one didn't have that last week's progress actually. So again, then you have your same weekly outlook here, and then this one says track your progress. How are you measuring your milestones? So that is going to change every week, but the review section and the weekly goal setup is not. So we get into the week. So here we have week 3. And then the next week after that, the weeks themselves are not numbered anywhere except for on the monthly calendar. It doesn't look like, so it doesn't say like that this is week 4 or week 3 or anything like that. And then at the end of this weekly outlook, you don't have any page or reflections for the end of the month. You go right into that February calendar, which is set up the same way as the first one. Like as I mentioned, the week numbering is on here, and there were 4 weeks in January, and this week actually starts as week 5, as you can see. So it's numbered on the monthly pages, but not the weekly pages. Then we get into our goals pages for the month. So we have space for our February goals, the same listing section with 12 spaces at the top and then dot grid at the bottom. And then another monthly challenge. This one says 28-day challenge since there's only 28 days in the month of February, but same thing, committing to like one habit or one challenge for the month, and it's structured the same way. And then the date tracker at the bottom has 28 slots to mark off instead of 31. That is the only difference between this page and the one for January, set up as a dated planner. And I do like the way that the dated planner is carried throughout. You could see the way a like cheaper version of a planner or a less quality version of a planner would just maybe have like the same number of slots to do every month instead of customizing it to be the lengths of the certain month. So overall, this actually, the whole planner does have a really high quality premium type feel towards to it. So then you have another journaling page over here since we're back into our week section. So each week is structured as your journaling section, your weekly goals, and then your weekly plan. So you get 2 pages for each week, and actually I guess 2 pages for each month as well. So you have, this one says make space for your superpowers. Again, that's going to change every week. And then on the bottom here, it does say 28-day challenge instead of 31-day challenge. So they could have just made that like monthly challenge. They chose to do it as the focusing on the day, which means they're printing something different on a lot of the pages, which again, I mean, they obviously have to custom each page because it has the dates at the top too, but it just gives it like a very high quality and customized feel. Whereas they could have easily just made this page the same every single week and just not had it been dated and just called it the monthly challenge. And you wouldn't really necessarily even be losing anything there. But again, I just feel like this fits with their overall aesthetic and just like the premium feel of the planner. So then we're going back into our weekly pages, and it just kind of repeats through there. There's all different all different reflections prompts for each of the weekly reflection pages. But again, the structure is going to be the same at every week. You've got that journaling space, you've got your goals breakdown, and you've got your weekly spread. So overall, I would describe this as like semi-guided goal setting. It's got like a teensy bit of prep work, and it does have space to break down your annual goals into monthly goals and weekly goals, but it's not guiding you through an entire goal setting process like the way the Moxie Life Planner does, where you're, taking quizzes and assigning things to different categories and taking a whole inventory. This is a much more light touch, minimal approach to goal setting. If that works for you, this might be a great planner for you. I do like that it's all incorporated all in one, but if you're looking for something that's gonna like do a deep dive into everything going on in your life and really give you some very strong and stricter, I don't know if that's the right word, more guided approach to your goal setting, this isn't necessarily that planner. So we go through the whole thing and it repeats. The months and weeks are together. It's not like all the months are at the beginning or anything like that. And then I'm just seeing if there's anything else here at the end of the planner. You've got your December stuff, which the first one here says celebrate your wins. So that's really nice. And then in the back here, looks like there is some kind of section in the back here. So let's try and find where that starts. Okay, so first, not related to this planner, but I do want to just point out that next year ends on a Sunday. It's like a little perfect start till next to 2024 start, a Monday start, not only to the month, to the year. I love a Monday start month. I will say it's a very satisfying thing as a planner person and as a Monday start planner person. But that means the first year, next year, and it also. Yeah, that's a really good planner split for next year. Anyway, because you can use your Christmas kit on this week if you sticker, and your New Year's kit to start your year fresh, and it's a perfect division. Anyway, here we go. So then at the end of your last week here, which again, this ends on the 31st because it's awesome. And then we've got here, it says achievements. So it's got space to talk about different achievements. There are spaces to put in 6 different achievements and actually a space to date them too, which is interesting. So it's really pointing you towards concrete goals, concrete deadlines, less, kind of like SMART type goals, if you are familiar with that term, which if you're watching this, you probably are. So anyway, so writing about your achievement and success, and then looking back at the year, did you embody the vision and theme you set for yourself? What accomplishment are you most proud of? So just a little bit of journaling space for reflecting at the end of the year. And at the bottom here, it says momentum demands movements. You've done a lot of work this past year. Your progress and commitment, no matter the results, have helped you become a more amazing version of yourself. Continue this practice and you'll achieve great things. So just a little looking back section, little 2-page spread over here. And then there are some note pages. I believe they said there were 6 dot grid note pages. They are numbered because the whole planner is numbered, and that is the end. So let's do a pen test. Okay, we are gonna match the neutral aesthetic of this planner with the pen test, although I may grab like a darker dot marker just to test that out. So I've got a Tombow dual brush pen and a Fudnesque brush pen. I typically, if I'm gonna do brush lettering in my planner, use the Fudnesque because it's a smaller tip size. I've got some gel pens, a zig dot marker, a mild liner, and a fine liner, and then an easy stamping marker to go ahead and test out. And I will also grab a sticker and stick that down and pull it up as well. Okay, so that is the pen test all done. This paper writes really nice. It does have like a teensy bit of tooth, and I don't think that it is a coated paper because when you kind of press the pens down, you can see the color soaking into it right away. So it doesn't really feel like it has a coating on it. It's not as much tooth as an Erin Condren planner paper, but not as smooth as like a plum paper maybe. Anyway, remember that this is 105 GSM, not 120 GSM, so we may see a little bit more bleeding and ghosting just because it is a thinner paper. None of the markers, except maybe the easy stamping marker, just a teensy bit, which is honestly one of the markers most prone to bleed through, is bleeding through. Even the harder press on the dot marker is not actually bleeding through, but all of the markers of the Tombows, even the mild liner, even the single pass of the lighter mild liner are shadowing to some extent. And likewise, even the pens kind of off camera away from the filming lights, it's not as bad, but there is some definite shadowing on this paper. Again, this paper, it does feel nice to write on, and it's a super bright white, which I do like, but it is a thinner paper, so you are gonna have a little bit more shadowing, and just be careful with what markers you use if that does bother you. Pulling up the washi was no problem. And then I'm gonna pull up this sticker. This sticker is from Two Little Bees, and I do find that her stickers don't always come up as smoothly, but that one came up nicely, no problem. I did like get a teensy bit of tear on the paper, but very, very minimal. And overall, like if you're being careful while you pull your stickers back up, you are gonna be okay. Obviously, if you're seriously pulling tons of stickers up, you should use Undo in any planner paper. But in general, this does feel like nice, good stickering paper. So that could be a way to avoid a little bit of the ghosting. But yeah, I do think overall, because you do have so many pages in here, it's already like a pretty thick book. They might not have been able to get 120 GSM paper in here anyways. It's overall like nice paper, but not my favorite paper. That is how I would describe it. But you know, I would, if it didn't weigh everything down, I'd probably put that Archer and Olive paper on everything, because then you don't have to think about what markers you're going to use ever. You could just use whatever you want. So I am definitely a thicker paper person. So if you are a person who doesn't like super thick paper, again, this might be a nice option for you. It's nice quality paper for the paper weight that it is. So that is the planner. If you have any questions about it, you can let me know in the comments down below. Stay tuned for more from Ink & Volt. I will definitely be sharing more from that brand in the future. I do really, really like, especially the desktop dashboard that they sent me. So definitely stay tuned. And if you liked this video, please like this video. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and follow me on Instagram and TikTok for even more planning fun. Both of those are at My Crafty Plans, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye.